Hello and welcome to another Betfred Sports video right here in the Quest Media Network studio. Now, of course, the Premier League continued at the weekend. Huge implications at the top end and bottom end of the table. Peter, firstly, let's take a look at Manchester City's 5-1 victory over Watford. They were made to work hard for it.
Well, they were. I thought the scoreline reflected the performance of City, particularly in the second half. It was an extraordinary performance by Jesus. Maybe he's been prompted by all the speculation that he's on the move to Arsenal and the pending arrival of Haaland and/or Harry Kane, one or the other, of course.
Yeah.
And so he probably thought to himself, well, I'll show him. And he did. He got 4 goals.
Yeah.
He put a really hard-working performance in. And he's doubled his tally for the season in one game.
Yep.
So that was extraordinary. City are now 4-9 for the title with 5 games to go. Liverpool won, of course. They're 7-4. So City are tightening the grip on the title as the games go down. We're going to be working out the odds for both City and Liverpool to go unbeaten or to win the remaining 5 games. And I'll get that to you on Friday.
Brilliant stuff. Well, you just heard it here first. Do you fancy City and Liverpool to go unbeaten until the rest of the season? Betfred will have those odds in the coming days. But looking at Liverpool's victory over Everton, obviously it was the Merseyside derby, a 2-0 win, but a lot of controversy in that game. A lot of people thought Liverpool were very lucky in terms of potential red cards and stuff like that.
Yeah, the referees come under enormous stick for being favouring the home side. Liverpool don't seem to concede many penalties, that's for sure, at Anfield. But at the end of the day, Liverpool are a far better team than Everton, and all the pressure was on Everton throughout the game. So it was no surprise really that Liverpool should come out worthy winners. And of course they've got Champions League action later in the week, haven't they?
Yeah, they certainly have. So, but very quickly before we do move into the Champions League semi-finals, of course we've got to touch up on Manchester United. As painful it is for some of you, they were beaten 3-1 at Arsenal, but it could have been so much different. Peter, United just properly get in front of goal.
Well, I mean, I blame Fernandes. I mean, why he took that penalty is beyond me. I mean, he's out of form. He's arguing with everybody, be it his own teammates, the crowd, or more particularly the referee. And he takes a penalty. I mean, why didn't they give it Ronaldo, who's on top of his game? He'd already scored, and he scored 3 in the previous game.
Yeah.
He's super confident and the best penalty taker.
Yeah.
And he did that silly little dance. And then it's the post. I mean, it's unbelievable. And if he'd have got that, it would have been 2-2. We might have been talking about something completely different this morning.
Well, I think we would. I think he'd scored that equaliser to go on to win it.
Well, United played okay. You know, Arsenal are pretty good up front, particularly with the speed of the forwards against United's dodgy defence. But if he'd have got that, it would have been completely different. In fact, United's form is relegation form.
It is.
It really is. I mean, I've got for top 4 now, United are 50-1. So, I mean, they're not going to get it. They're slipping all the time. So 50-1 United for a top 4 finish at this stage of the season is unprecedented. And then for relegation, as I just mentioned, we've now got Everton right in there now. They're 3rd from bottom. So they're 10-11 to be relegated. Norwich, they're gone obviously at 1-500. Watford, they're virtually gone 1-100. And then Everton 10-11. So they're more likely, according to Betfred's odds, than Burnley to be relegated. Yeah. I mean, Burnley, after the sacking of Sean Dyche, have rallied. Yeah. And they're doing pretty well now, and they're out of it.
Well, we said it was potentially a risky sacking, but they've won 2 on the bounce. They beat Wolves on Sunday 1-0. That's dented Wolves' top 6 chances. But looking at Burnley, like we said, then it was a risky decision, but maybe it'll pay off.
Well, I think that the players, it dawned on the players how serious their plight was when they sack such an established and well-liked manager such as Sean Dyche, that their futures are on the line as well. So suddenly they started putting in an extra shift. I mean, they're all hard-working players, of course, but they're making that hard work pay off with 3 points, twice on the run now, should I say?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Burnley's survival chances have improved after back-to-back victories. Newcastle, they're looking for a top 10 finish now, aren't they?
Yeah, that is incredible, isn't it? He would have thought that Newcastle would rally so much there. They play Liverpool on Saturday, so that'll be an interesting one. And City, they play. Who is it?
I don't know. You got your phone in there?
Yeah, I can't get it out. City have got Watford, not Norwich. Someone near the bottom. Leeds.
Oh, is it Leeds? Right.
Yeah. So City have got Leeds. So they've both got teams on the edge of the relegation issue, although in Newcastle's case they've rallied and they're mid-table now, aren't they?
Absolutely. Well, as Peter said then, City's next Premier League fixture comes against Leeds United, but firstly, it's the big one on Tuesday night. It's a Champions League semi-final, and they welcome Real Madrid to the Etihad Stadium. Peter, what are you looking like for this one?
Well, this is what it's all about for City in the Champions League. The owners will be absolutely loving this, the chance to play the all-time greatest European successful team in the Champions League and the European Cup, the aristocrats of Europe at the Etihad, first leg of the semi-final. City are 1-2 to win that game. Madrid 11-2, drawn 19-5. So we've got Mahrez to score first at 4-1, Benzema 5-1, Sterling 5-1, De Bruyne 6-1. And here's the best bet, I reckon. Jesus 6-1, because he's massively in form, and he's out to prove that his doubts is wrong. He's critic, and I've been a critic as well. Yeah. But he can't take it away from it. The amount of work he puts in. He's a perfect Guardiola striker in that he bobs around, presses tremendously well, and he's now getting his reward with goals. For the outright winners of the Champions League, City are no longer favourites. They're second favourites. They're 5-4. Liverpool we've got as the favourites at Betfred to win the Champions League, and that's because on Wednesday they entertain Villarreal at Anfield. And they're 2-7 to win that. Villarreal 10-1. So to win the Champions League outright, for City to make history, and this is exactly what the ultra-ambitious Abu Dhabi owners want, City are 5-4, Liverpool 6-5, Real Madrid 6-1, and Villarreal, the outsiders, at 20-1. But don't rule them out, because they can win a lot of knockout games. They've got an excellent manager who's good at that.
Yeah, certainly are. The surprise package this season, without a doubt. But just looking at that City v Real Madrid game, if you fancy City to win and both teams to score, that is priced at Betfred as 2-1. And then on Wednesday night, Liverpool taking on Villarreal. If you fancy Mo Salah to score first, he's priced at 11-4. But if you fancy Sadio Mane to score two or more, he's in fine form, very lively player. He's priced at 11-2. Well, we're going to move into some Betfred Super League news now. Quite a surprising result from the weekend, Peter. St Helens were beaten by Castleford, although they did field a pretty much weakened side.
Well, you could say that again. I mean, they played 7 debut-making players, and the rest of the team was made up of squad players. So I can't get my head around this. It's either St Helens making a point about the double header at Easter, which has now been abandoned because that takes its toll out of the players, or they did have terrible injuries, or they wanted to save the better players, the first teamers, for bigger things to come, like the Betfred Challenge Cup semi-final, which is pending against Wigan at Leeds on May the 7th. So but the bottom line is that St Helens are in such a strong position in the league that they probably thought to themselves, well, we can afford to lose the odd game because and unblood these kids. Now, Christian Wolf, the coach, has got a tremendous problem, one that all coaches love, because all these 7, the Super 7, will be looking to carry on. They've had a taste of the big time. They went down quite heavily, as expected, but they put up quite a fight. And now we all know that St Helens have got tremendous players coming through from the academy. So that was the shock result. The other surprising one for me was Wigan only just beat Salford at in a home game. So that meant that Wigan are now equal top on same number of points as St Helens. And to win the Betfred Grand Final outright, Saints are still the favourites, 10-11. Castellans 3-1. Wigan 6-1. Warrington, who had a good win as well, they're back in it now at 10 to 1, so their odds have halved. And Hull FC are also in fine form, they're 16 to 1. Salford slipping again, 100 to 1.
Brilliant stuff. Well, just to recap, it is the Champions League semi-finals coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday night. So on Tuesday night, City welcome Real Madrid to the Etihad Stadium, and then 24 hours later, Liverpool entertain Villarreal. And if you do fancy punt on any of those fixtures, Betfred stores are now open, but you can also bet online via their app.